a minute to Khan International as I organize my papers. Let me allow Maria Reding to give us a 2-minute short on what they'll be doing, and then we'll be closing. Meanwhile, let me thank sincerely our last presenters, and please rest assured that your contributions, your responses have been extremely useful. Maria, please, 2 minutes, then we conclude this meeting.
Thank you very much, Mr. Co-Facilitator. I will indeed give the shortest presentation we will hear today. I will ask you not to run through my presentation because I had planned 7 minutes and I will not give the presentation. I will make it shorter. My name is Tove Maria Riding and I'm from Greenpeace International. I'm presenting these points on behalf of more than 500 organizations who are members of a Climate Action Network. The first point, these will be 3 brief points. The first point, I think today we have seen a key problem in these negotiations, and that is the low level of ambition that we have when it comes to developed country targets. Today we have heard the thinking behind the targets and we've had the clarifications of the targets. Now it's time to start talking about how the developed countries intend to follow up on Cancun and increase the level of ambition. That's point number 1. Secondly, as illustrated by some of the presentations today, the governments can play around with the rules to make their targets seem more ambitious than they are. But these kind of political acrobatics, they really only serve as a bad attempt to try and mislead the citizens instead of trying to keep the citizens safe from the catastrophic impacts of climate change. And therefore we do need common rules and we need clear rules so that we can close the holes in the system that allows for this kind of creative bookkeeping. In other words, if the governments want to look more ambitious, they have to be more ambitious. And finally, we do find it very alarming that some governments are actually putting forward pledges that are less ambitious than what they have committed to under the Kyoto Protocol to achieve by 2012. For example, an example of this is the pledge put forward by Canada, or pledges that are less ambitious than where they will end up if they actually implement the targets they've taken on domestically, as we saw with the European Union. Either this is a sign that they're not taking the international targets and these negotiations seriously, or even worse, it's a sign that they actually do expect to violate the targets that they've already taken on. And this is, of course, the very last thing we need at this moment. So as a closing remark, let me just say that this is not just about targets and rules. It's also about a government obligation to clarify to the citizens how they want to guarantee a safe future where we do not have a man-made climate disaster. It's about clarifying to business how they will get a stable investment climate with binding targets and high ambitions so that we can get further investments in green technologies. And I just want to end with this good news of the day. It is that even in developed countries, citizens and business, we're actually already today working towards transforming the societies, creating the clean and safe low-carbon future that we need. But we cannot do this alone. We need engagement and we need leadership from our governments. Of course, in return, the first movers, the governments that actually show ambition on this issue, can harvest the benefits of the investments and of the green and energy-efficient economy. In Climate Action Network, we have experts present that are very happy to elaborate on all these points, and we've also shared information out today. And thank you very much for these minutes.
Thank you, Maria, for being brief and sincere. We know your presentation will be distributed to all parties present here. It's unfortunate, of course, we have limited time. We have really run out of what we allocated today. But once again, let me on behalf of my colleague, Mas, thank you for your very interactive and very constructive workshop today. I think many have agreed with us that it has been a very useful day. These workshops have raised a lot of issues, a lot of clarifications, a lot of issues which were not clear to many parties.